Yo, it's your homeboy Kiiro in the building. Welcome to episode 14 of my One Piece discussion series. In this episode, we'll be talking about CP0. Now, before I get into this episode, I need to give a quick shout out. And this is a shout out to Jim's Nerd Nation. I've been following this guy for a long time, not since day one, not since day two, but really close. Basically with Jim, right? He's this dude that reviews manga blind, like from chapter one, because he's not like into manga, he's not up to date, and so that gives you a really fresh feeling, some really fresh uh reviews, and he's just a cool guy in general, so that really helps. Because you follow all these like YouTubers and stuff, and you wonder, I wonder how that guy would have reviewed this chapter. But the thing is, now that specific reviewer is spoiled. This reviewer knows the future. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be the exact same first impression. But with Jim, you get a first impression on each chapter from chapter one. So he's doing everything One Piece. Basically brought him into manga because he was like a nerd in general, but it was EOP that convinced him. And so he started on One Piece, and he started Naruto and Hunter x Hunter as well, and Toriko. So those three things as well as One Piece. But he's gone the furthest in One Piece. Now the reason why I'm bringing him up in this video is because he's kind of relevant. Now I'll explain. Give me a moment. Sorry about that. Now basically, he reviewed Aokiji versus the Straw Hats very recently, and he's just started Enies Lobby and Water 7 slash Water 7 basically. Water 7. He just started Water 7, and that's a really huge arc in One Piece. A lot of people like that saga for reasons that I'm not going to disclose, to avoid spoilers. But I just thought I'd throw it out there because it's pretty relevant to this video. And for anyone who's watching who isn't up to date, there's going to be spoilers if you haven't gone past Water 7, so you can start the video now because the shout out is pretty much over. And shout outs to EOP as well. EOP is a cool guy, but I'll give him his own like proper shout out in a proper video because he's a pretty cool guy. Moving on. So CP0, my first and last question is, how strong do you think CP0 are? Because we haven't seen CP7 or CP8 or we haven't seen CP7 or CP8, so we can't really like gauge the differences between the levels in the CP thing, sort of like with the Spada in like Bleach, they rank by number, and you can, sort of see it go up and down and all that stuff. You really can't, and with admirals you have the different ranks, but you really can't tell with CP9, CP0. All we can do right now is make assumptions. So if you have any assumptions, I'd like to hear them, and I'm not going to judge you too much because I know less than you do. I mean, nobody knows anything about CP0, so really, like, I just like to hear your guess on how strong you think they are. Now I'm going to talk about CP0 and Dressrosa, and I'm going to end off with the question I just asked you again. So basically, CP0, why are they in Dressrosa? Now there's a number of reasons why, and we're going to talk about that. So the first reason why is the one that everyone talks about, which is they're there to debunk the Shichibukai rumors about Doflamingo. But I'm not a big fan of that because I think it's sort of lousy and fishy because you don't send Rob Lucci and co, you don't send CP9 to debunk some newspaper rumors, some TMZ shit. You don't do that shit, you know what I'm saying? You don't they could have sent the vice admiral, and the vice admiral is Navy government, people that believe the vice admiral as much as CP0. So I see that as a waste, and I don't think that's the main reason. Maybe they're using that as an excuse to but I don't think that's the main reason why they're in Dressrosa. But that's what everyone thinks. But I'm just putting that out there. I think there are other reasons. I mean, I think there's a better reason, and I'm gonna talk about two. Now, the first reason, I'm not going to go into it, or rather, let's talk about the Shichibukai thing as the first one. So we have two more. The second reason is going to be Fujitora. What if the world government or CP0 know that Fujitora wants to fuck with the Shichibukai? That's actually a big thing that Fujitora is doing. There might be some people in the Gorosei or the world government, that some higher ups that do not approve of this, and maybe they know about this, and they've sent CP0 to deal with Fujitora. And this is good because Fujitora is a big problem in Dressrosa. If you take away Fujitora, then all of a sudden everything becomes very manageable. Because let's look at it this way: Doflamingo versus Luffy will not be an easy fight for Luffy at all. And if you take away Fujitora, everyone can pretty much handle what they have to handle. Like I can see all the toys that are human now. They can definitely handle trouble. I mean, if it's like all of them at the same time, or not, just a lot of them. I can see them handling trouble. What else do you have? You have you have the Fisher Tiger girl. I can't remember what her name is, but she might head and help assist them against trouble. Just in general, take away Fujitora and a big problem has been removed from Dressrosa, and everything's really casual. But the thing is, how are you gonna take him away? If CP0 doesn't interrupt, then the only person that Fujitora is gonna fight is probably Zoro. And let's face it, Zoro's not admiral level. He's gonna get his ass whooped. It might not. It's probably gonna be convincing because it's this early in the series. It might not be like super duper convincing, but he's gonna get his ass whooped, and I don't think he's gonna injure Fujitora. No, that's just my opinion. Just my opinion. But that's that for the whole CP0 versus Fujitora thing. And the third theory is extra long, which is why I saved it for last. And without further ado, let's get into it. So I think as my third theory is that CP0 are dealing with the Revolutionary Army. And this is like my biggest theory in terms of the CP0 thing because it actually branches out further than Dressrosa. Now, naturally you'd send a CP0 to deal with, the government's biggest threats, which is Dragon, and then you have, revolutionaries are connected to Dragon. So yada yada yada. Another thing you can think of is why is like the Fisher Tiger girl, I can't remember what her name is. You know what I'm talking about. The girl that uses Fishman Karate. Why is she there on Dressrosa? Because Sabo doesn't need babysitters. He can get the memory on his own and leave and all that stuff. And even then, anyone who can beat Sabo is gonna beat her as well. So she's really of no use. So I think okay, yeah, they'll probably like have to do the small stuff because the fishing guy was on the Denden Mushi and stuff with her. But it's also possible that they might be there for CP0, but most likely it's gonna be the other way around. CP0 are there for them. And another thing to back up my whole CP0 thing is look at the Robin flashback. From my memory, I might be wrong, but on the best of my memory, it was CP9 that was in her flashback when she was small and her island was getting busted color stuff. It was CP9 that was there, not CP0. And you wonder, for something that important, why isn't CP0 there? I mean, the Gorosei had a big problem with the whole Robin Island thing. I mean, they even got that guy killed because they're about to expose them and stuff. That was no joke. So why wasn't CP0 there instead of CP9? They'd have done a better job because they're better, people. That's why they're CP0. Now, the answer is simple. They were handling a bigger threat. Now, what's a bigger threat than exposing the Gorosei? The bigger threat is the biggest threat, and the biggest threat is Monkey D. Dragon. So, they've been handling the revolutionaries for the whole time, and Dressrosa is no exception. They're there to intercept with Sabo or whatever.